Coming up on Valley News Now, the very latest on a federal murder case against a man accused of killing his wife at the SkyDancer Casino.
3 Fargo police officers cleared of any wrongdoing in the death of 2 brothers. We're learning details of the Polk County Attorney's Office investigation into the incident.
Plus, a new wrongful death lawsuit filed in federal court following an officer-involved shooting in 2024, a story we've covered previously. We have all those new developments coming up. Valley News Now is live. All right, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us for this Valley News Now afternoon update. I, as always, am Devin Fry, bringing you the very latest that we have in the Valley News Live newsroom. All of the headlines from the day, the top stories, the weather, which we'll get to very quickly, and we're going to give you a peek at road conditions as you get ready to make your way out the door, maybe going home from work, or what we have coming up tonight at 6 and as well as at 10. We have a lot in store for this show, so let's go ahead and get right into it. Obviously, we have to talk about the weather front. 38 degrees. This side is where it is. We've been talking about it getting more and more warm, palatable, pretty much every day that we've been doing these afternoon updates. Let's take a look at the sky cam right now. This is our Dakota Magic Casino sky cam at, obviously, the Dakota Magic Casino. You can see the sun looking beautiful out there. Of course, there's always some, the flags always tend to be moving quite a bit in that area, but not as much today, thankfully. Now, we're going to hear from Russ Thomas this time. We have Russ out here. Now, I do want to point out, we've had Summer doing our weather updates for this afternoon update. We've had her go out into the elements and really show everybody what it looks like out there. As it gets closer to 40 degrees, all of a sudden Russ has decided that he is going to go outside this time. I'm not saying that he's waiting for it to be warmer, but it sure does seem that way. No, I'm just kidding. Let's get to Russ now for the latest on our weather forecast so far and what we can expect moving forward.
Hello and happy Thursday afternoon. This is First Alert Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Russ Thomas. It really doesn't get much better than this on an early February afternoon. Blue sky, temperatures in the 30s with some areas hitting lower to even mid 40s. Now this is kind of the start of a trend, which we're going to see our temperatures above average just about every day over the next week and a half. There is one day that stands out as the cold one. That actually comes tomorrow. So the heavy jackets do need to come back out, but only for a brief time. Once we get past that, the weekend looking warmer. Next week, nice as well. Now, as far as snow chances, precip chances, we do have a little bit of an opportunity here and there, including overnight tonight. We'll talk more about that on Valley News Live coming up tonight at 5, 6, and 10.
Thank you so much for that, Russ. We'll, of course, watch for the shows tonight. Don't forget to have your Valley News Live weather app handy as well. You don't need to wait for our broadcast. We're either going to bring them to you here on Valley News Now, streaming on your smart TV, our Facebook page, YouTube channel, wherever you get your news. That's where you're going to find us. I also want to mention I do have our Facebook Live feed open now. A lot of our viewers tend to watch these on our Facebook page. We want your voice to be heard. If you have anything you want to say about the stories that we're talking about, or just want to say, hey, the comment section is open. I'm going to be checking that throughout this update. Now, let's get into the headlines that we have today so far. Obviously, like I mentioned, a busy day. A man accused of stabbing a woman to death at the SkyDancer Casino has pleaded not guilty to a federal murder charge. I was at the U.S. District Courthouse today in Fargo, where 58-year-old Rigoberto Mendez Morales appeared via Zoom from the Ward County Jail for his arraignment in U.S. District Court. He was formally indicted by a grand jury last week on a charge of second-degree murder in Indian country. Federal prosecutors say Mendez Morales called 911 on January 10th after finding a woman dead in his hotel room at the casino on the Turtle Mountain Reservation. Deputies found him with blood on his clothing and face. The victim had been stabbed multiple times. All of that information coming from that aforementioned federal indictment. A 2-week jury trial is scheduled to begin April 14th. Mendez Morales faces up to life in prison if convicted. Now, I do feel it's important to point out his hearing was held over Zoom. He was coming from the Ward County Jail. There was also an interpreter present there as well, translating everything from English to Spanish and vice versa when Rigoberto Mendez Morales would respond. So despite all of those potential challenges there, he did acknowledge that he understood everything that was happening during the hearing. So we're going to watch for that as that trial begins. A second wrongful death lawsuit has been filed against a Bureau of Indian Affairs police officer who fatally shot a Belcourt man back in 2024. Another federal incident here. Court documents show Constance Wilkie filed the lawsuit on behalf of Jordan Parisian's estate. The suit names Officer Evan Parisian and several federal agencies as defendants. The lawsuit alleges the officer made no attempt to de-escalate before shooting Parisian multiple times along Highway 5 near Belcourt. This is video that we obtained at the time of this incident. We talked to Jordan Parisian's family, which is where we got this video. Then you're going to have a lot more coming up tonight on Valley News Live about this case, so be sure to stay tuned. The lawsuit alleges that the officer made no attempt to de-escalate before shooting Parisian multiple times along Highway 5 near Belcourt. An autopsy report shows Parisian suffered multiple gunshot wounds to his head, chest, and back. The complaint seeks damages for loss of society, emotional distress, and loss of economic support. Plaintiffs are demanding a jury trial there. Again, the second wrongful death lawsuit filed against that officer. Polk County Sheriff Jim Tadman is retiring after 38 years of service. Tadman announced that he will not be seeking re-election and plans to retire at the end of his current term, which comes up in January 2027. He's served as sheriff for the past 7 years. His career with the Polk County Sheriff's Office began as an intern and included roles as patrol deputy, investigator, canine handler, and chief deputy. Tadman says it's been his greatest honor of his professional career to serve as sheriff. He thanked residents for their trust and support and says he's committed to a smooth leadership transition. This one, okay, I'm going to give everybody a little bit of a warning before we go into this next story here. If you don't want, obviously animal stories tend to be a bit sensitive. This is one of those situations. Kittens rescued from a hoarding situation are rapidly passing away, according to the organization Smiley's Rescues. The rescue shelter shared the update on Facebook, stating that even in perfect care, some kittens don't survive. Many are born with issues that can't be seen or fixed, especially in hoarding, feral, or malnourished populations. Again, this there were I believe there were 50 cats that were taken out of this home. The shelter explains that early neglect can lead to hidden organ damage, weak immune systems, and heart or lung problems. They also say that some kittens suffer immune system collapse, known as, this is the saddest disease name I've ever heard in my entire life, fading kitten syndrome. Smiley's Rescues says that they're doing everything possible with the support of veterinarians and resources there, attempting to do a very good thing there and try to save as many of those cats as they can. Moving up to the northern part of our viewing area, a Crookston man is facing multiple felony charges after authorities seized more than a pound of cocaine and a good amount of other drugs from his home. 38-year-old Alex Oliver Lee Kaiser was arrested February 2nd after Polk County Sheriff's deputies executed a search warrant at his residence. The investigation started after a woman overdosed on cocaine at Kaiser's home. Deputies discovered approximately 518 grams of suspected cocaine in Kaiser's locked bedroom, along with more than $1,300 in cash. Authorities also seized MDMA, LSD, hallucinogenic mushrooms, marijuana, and multiple firearms. Kaiser also allegedly admitted to selling drugs for years, making between $15,000 and $50,000 annually. He faces up to 40 years in prison. I do want to say on this story on our website right now, valleynewslive.com, we have the exact amount of all of the drugs that were seized from that apartment, the information that was given to us in court documents. So if you want more specifics, that's available on our website right now, valleynewslive.com. Staying kind of in that general area, Grand Forks man is behind bars after police say he assaulted a woman and made multiple threats to kill people. Jordan Webster is facing charges of felonious restraint, simple assault, and terrorizing. On February 3rd, Grand Forks police were called to a residence for reports of a domestic assault. The victim told officers that Webster pinned her down in their bed and threatened to kill everyone, including her family. Police say they found a phone in Webster's pocket with a video recording of him making those threats. Webster has a preliminary hearing scheduled for March 16th. Clay County officials this morning provided more details on a deadly officer-involved shooting from August of 2025. Courtney Lockie was in attendance this morning and now joins our own Jessica Bringy with more details on what she learned from this press conference and what we can expect to hear coming up tonight on Valley News Live at 6. Let's go ahead and hear from those two now.
Devin, the Clay County Attorney's Office now clearing all 3 Fargo police officers of any wrongdoing in an officer-involved shooting. Our own Courtney Lockey was there this morning. Courtney, a lot of new information released. We know there's new video, the 911 call, but that big part being those officers now cleared.
Yes, so that press conference took place this morning. Pretty much every law enforcement agency in our region was there because this was a SWAT team operation. We know that our SWAT team is made up of different officers from all different agencies. This just happened to be those 3. So they announced that. They gave us a look at why this was deemed justified, as well as releasing new information and that audio call.
And of course, we have the previous video that we've viewed before, but you will have a look at some new video, actually, even leading up to this incident that we're seeing here, as well as that 911 call.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff that was released today was more showing and demonstrating what led up to this. We got to learn a lot more about their background. So the 2 brothers who were killed in this incident, we were able to learn that they both had criminal history, specifically involving domestic assault. That was something new that we learned. And as well as that there were 2 guns involved recovered from this scene.
Okay. Is there anything else that you think is important that viewers know right now?
I think in these situations, we see them so many times. They had barricaded themselves in, and police told them over and over again, we're not leaving. This isn't going to end. And it's just something that the police chief mentioned. They were like, this is sad. Lives are lost. We do everything in our power to train for that to not happen. But unfortunately, when somebody's pointing a gun, firing shots at you, we have no other option. So that's just the thing I think about. If you're ever in this situation, hopefully not, but just to comply so that it can end differently.
And especially when kids are involved. We know the 2 children that were inside the apartment were okay. They're unhurt.
5 and 6, a boy and a girl. And that was really pressing too. Like, you heard them, obviously when somebody's shooting at you, you kind of maybe freeze, or you're probably afraid to go in, even though they're officers, I'm sure. And they're saying, no, push through. We have to get to these kids. And yeah, that part is just
heart-wrenching.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So a lot more coming up tonight at 6. Courtney, thank you.
Well, coming up tonight on Valley News Live at 10 o'clock, the ozone desk fully completed. It's in the box because today the weather temperature's above freezing. But let's get ready for Olympic coverage as the opening ceremony tomorrow afternoon, and then the ozone show day 1 with McKenna Wright this Saturday. All of this coming up at 10.
I'll also be hosting a good chunk of the Olympic Zone shows along with McKenna. It's McKenna flying solo this weekend, though. I have a very, very pressing matter. My child turns 2 years old. So everybody, round of applause for Easton Fry for turning 2 years old. Congrats, buddy. Now, normally this would be the part of the show where I show you the road conditions as you get ready to go home from work or wherever you may be, but we have some breaking news here. I'm going to pull up this video. The Cass County Sheriff's Office in Fargo just posted this. An incident involving a hot air balloon and a power line under investigation in Cass County. Let's pull up the video. This is from their Facebook page right now. As you can see here, okay, thank you, notifications. We don't need that right now. You can see incident involving a hot air balloon and power line under investigation. Oh man, Facebook is not the easiest thing to show video from. Yeah, you can see the hot air balloon flying away, I believe is the situation. We're going to learn more details. Again, I just saw this while we were airing our preview of what Courtney's working on tonight, so details obviously very limited. Let's go ahead and read what the Cass County Sheriff's Office said about this this incident here. But yeah, we'll just keep checking out this video. It's not very often you see a hot air balloon making headlines here in Fargo, at least not since I've been down here in 2019. Maybe before I got here, there were a lot more hot air balloon incidents. I'm going to keep this video playing, but I'll tell you guys what the Cass County Sheriff's Department posted. Yesterday around 11:30 a.m., Cass County Sheriff's Office was dispatched to the 4500 block of 135th Avenue Southeast in rural Cass County, following a report of an incident involving a hot air balloon and a power line. Not a good combination there. Cass County Electric Cooperative contacted authorities after one of its distribution lines was snapped after being struck by a hot air balloon. No injuries were reported as a result of this incident. This, again, video from Cass County Sheriff's Department, Cass County Sheriff's Office, I should say. We're going to start this over for any viewers that may just be joining us here. That is interesting. No injuries were reported as a result of this incident. Cass County Electric Cooperative has since completed approximately $1,000 in repairs to the affected line. Preliminary information gathered on the scene suggests that the operator of the hot air balloon is part of a group conducting practice runs, and their eventual intent is to set a new world record for travel in a homemade airship. During takeoff around 8:30 a.m., wind began pushing the airship before the pilot could get enough air into the balloon to gain altitude. With assistance from the FAA, additional information is still being gathered regarding the circumstances of the event. Information may be released as it becomes available. They do mention that the footage was not captured by the Cass County Sheriff's Office. It was provided as part of the investigation. That's the most impressive breaking news that we've had since I started doing these afternoon updates. Stay tuned to us here at Valley News Live on our digital platforms, on the air. Valley News Live at 4, starting in about 13 minutes here. We're going to follow that, I believe, for sure. Now, interesting. Let's take a look at the roads before you make your way home from work, or maybe leaving home for the first time today if you're lucky. As you can see in our area here, again, with the warmer weather, the biggest thing to worry about is the slushy roads, which is what the scattered wet and slushy roads are what we're dealing with. Basically from north of Fargo all the way up to Gardner, and then from there it's frosty roads around the Hillsborough, Mayville area, the Trail County area. Something to be aware of as you make your way out the door. Also some scattered frost once you get west from between West Fargo to Castleton out there, something to watch for. Otherwise, though, really green across the state. You'll love to see it. Of course, there is a little bit more scattered wet and slushy roads for the northern parts of our viewing area, for those of you up by the Devil's Lake Basin. Something to be aware of there. Now, I'm going to go try to investigate a little bit more about what's going on with this hot air balloon that the Cass County Sheriff's Office posted. If you missed that part of this show, please feel free to rewind and watch that once I'm done here. We'll see you next time. For your Valley News Now digital update, I'm Devin Fry. Thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. Hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and we'll see you back here tomorrow, same time, same place. Let's go figure out what's happening with this hot air balloon. Thank you all for joining us.